A little story time here. My assistant came panicked to me. Doctor, do you remember the patient we did class 1 restoration yesterday? I said, yeah, the amalgam one. Yeah, she's come back with severe pain. I was shocked. How is that possible? It was well sealed, beautifully done restoration. And it's not that she had dental treatment for the first time. She actually has a crown placed, a gold crown placed years back. How is this possible? What do you think? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Riddhi Lalan, author of Dental Material Mind Map book and a prosthodontist who's going to teach you actually what happened in this situation. We'll be talking about biological considerations of dental material. So the basic biological requirement of any dental material is these four. It does not have to be toxic, should not irritate the adjacent tissue, should cause no allergic reaction, and definitely does not have the potential to convert into oncogenic or carcinogenic in nature. Now, materials can be classified very easily depending on where are they placed. Are they in contact with soft tissue? Do they affect pulp, periapical tissue or the hard tissue? And the materials that are used in dental laboratory. Based upon that, we know what is it going to come in contact with. Now, the physical factors that actually affect the pulp, there are multiple, right? First thing being microleakage. So what do you exactly think happens in microleakage? First thing is there is a gap. And where is it present? It's at the tooth restoration interface. Now what's going to happen? This gap will lead to penetration of fluid, microorganisms, oral debris deep into the other deeper structures of the tooth. Now this can further lead to secondary caries, also can infiltrate the dentinal tubules and cause sensitivity, and one of the very common finding is discoloration and stain. Then the other change that can be observed or can be harmful to the pulp is thermal changes. Now we know that the dentinal fluid that is present, the movement is going to affect the sensitivity. Whenever there is going to be very great temperature fluctuations, what can happen? There can be crack initiation in the restorative material. Now this will lead to production of undesirable changes. Talking about metal. Metal is a very good conductor of heat, and thus it becomes very essential that we place the base. The purpose of base is basically to protect pulp from thermal fluctuations. So it's actually going to act like an insulator. Talking about galvanism. So if you notice what happened in that patient, they had class 1 amalgam restoration. And I said that patient had a gold crown since years. Now what happened? There are two dissimilar metals that have come in contact, and we know that the electric potential for both silver and gold is different, right? Amalgam being composed of silver and the gold crown has different electric potential. The small current that was being generated was experienced as pain by the patient, and the saliva that was present in the oral cavity acted as an electrolyte. I hope you all remember 3 Idiots and the principle of electrolyte. It's a good conductor. It basically helps in conduction, right? So that principle is also applicable here, wherein the saliva acts as an electrolyte. So what you see here in this diagram is that one tooth has amalgam restoration, the other has gold restoration, and because of the change in electrical potential, one act as an anode, the other act as the cathode, and this leads to flow of very small current. It's actually not great, but it is felt as a pain perception to the patient. So to avoid galvanism, what should be done? Dissimilar metals should not be given in the oral cavity. Now, so let's talk about classification of adverse reaction. The first one, toxic reaction. is actually always related to overdose. So what we know here is overdose of anything will elicit the toxic reaction. Talking about inflammatory reaction, now it will actually not be specific immune system related. It will somewhat behave like a pseudo-allergic reaction. Allergy, on the other hand, is immune system mediated reaction. And the last one, being mutagenic, means that this material actually has the tendency to cause change in DNA. So this can also be known as genotoxic reaction because it has the potential to act upon the gene. So these four reactions in total will elicit adverse reactions, which can be seen as inflammatory changes. There can be redness, swelling, anything that is in response to the material that couldn't actually have good biological appropriate reaction in the oral cavity. Talking about the toxicity evaluation. So now this happens in 3 stages: level 1, 2 and 3. Level 1 basically is the screening test. Okay, here there is no human involvement or any animal involvement. It's basically in vitro study. It's done to check for the acute systemic toxicity. So here we see cytotoxicity, irritational potential, allergic, carcinogenic potential. So the adverse reaction will be screened in level 1. Level 2 is the usage test. So now what happens? It is basically the animals, and usually those are the mammals that are tested in stage 2, and stage 3 are human trials. What happens here? So we actually see how the human body is going to respond to this system. To know more about this thing, we'll actually be talking in the next lecture where we talk about biocompatibility of dental material. I hope this lecture was easy for you to understand, and let's just quickly solve one MCQ. A patient develops redness, burning sensation, itching of oral mucosa after placement of denture liner. Patch test confirms a hypersensitivity reaction. Now we know that hypersensitivity reaction is always related to allergic reaction. So allergic reaction are of 4 types, correct? 1 to 4. We have studied this in the first year. So if you have forgotten, I would actually advise that you should go back to the mind map of allergic reaction, read about it and get back. So the correct answer here would be C, allergic reaction. Hypersensitivity was easy for us to identify. Talking about what is microleakage. So microleakage is basically penetration of oral debris, fluid and bacteria into the marginal gap at the tooth restoration interface. I hope you enjoyed learning this topic, and to know more about such topics, you can go to the app, read about the mind map, note, watch other videos and solve MCQs and flashcard. I'll see you in the next video.